Hey guys, Ben here. Welcome back to another live stream. This is the DCTV show episode 68. Today we have a lot to talk about. Eric is going to be joining us pretty soon, and we're going to be talking about this week's Superman Lois and this week's Flash. Lots of stuff went down, and I'm sure most of you guys want to talk about what happened on the Flash this week. I think that is a big topic that everyone is just like waiting to talk about because we have the teaser for who could potentially be the new villain. It's very, very exciting, and I have lots of theories, and we're definitely going to break them down in this live stream. But for now, welcome to everyone who is joining. I see Cal in the chat, who is a member of the channel. Ben got delayed. Yeah, Ben did get delayed. We have Path, we have Canada Graphs, Maya is here. Also, we have Scott Edwards. And we also have Jamie Fletcher. Nathan is here. Marvel DC Extension Wrestlers. Also, Andy is here. And thanks for the message, Andy. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so we are doing a new film. So this is what Andy is talking about. I'll leave the link for that in the chat. And that is a way that you can support me because that is a project that I'm working on. And I'm very kind of passionate about it. So that is another thing, but I'll talk about that a bit later. But yeah, for now, hopefully you guys enjoyed this live stream and leave a like. You know, it's going to go up after on the channel, but let's go into the first thing. And we have some super chats that were sent in before I started streaming. So this is coming from Scott Edwards, who sends in 2 super chats. Thank you very much, Scott. Scott says, Eric Wallace confirmed he has a special event in mind to kick off season 9 and is trying to get guest stars. More likely, he won't get Mia and Jefferson again since the actors got new projects. That is true. However, Eric is joining, guys, in a minute, but he is just coming back. He's in the car. He had to get something, and he is going to be joining the stream really, really soon. But yeah, so in regards to what Scott is saying in the super chat, Eric Wallace did say he has potential plans for a, season 9 to start off similar to how season 8 started off. And that could be something along the lines of Armageddon. And you would see returning characters. And even actually in Andy's interview, I believe it was Andy's interview, Eric Wallace talked about, or was it yours? Anyway, Andy, confirm in the chat, did Eric Wallace say to you that he is planning to talk to a Supergirl cast member? I don't know. I feel like it's either Andy's one or someone else put out an interview. Maybe it was like comicbook.com or something. I really can't remember off the top of my head. You guys need to correct me. If you guys remember, there was a quote that went out where Eric Wallace was talking about how he wanted to have a Supergirl album. Oh, so it was Andy's. So I'm going to leave the link to Andy's interview with Eric Wallace because that's where he confirmed that, in fact, he's looking for a Supergirl album to come next season and show up maybe in that potential start. So yeah, that is really, really exciting. I really hope that what Andy was able to get from Eric Wallace turns out to be true. Like, I would totally be down for that. And apparently he was meeting this specific Supergirl cast member from the past and they were planning for the future, basically. So I really, really hope that comes to fruition. And yeah, so I would be all in for this, and I'm sure many of you guys would be as well. Okay, Scott Edwards sends in another super chat, $4.99. Thank you once again, Scott. I really appreciate you supporting the channel. Scott says, so do y'all think, there you go, Scott with the American y'all. Do y'all think Superman and White Canary and Supergirl are good chances for the event? I really want to see them all team up with the Flash again. So I'm not going to say Supergirl specifically, like Melissa. I'm not going to say is that likely. I would say, yeah, they might try and get her, but it's probably more likely it's going to be someone like Nia who shows up in one of these crossovers because it's a character that apparently hasn't been on a Flash crossover yet, hasn't been on the show. And as far as I can remember, I don't think Nicole Maines has shown up. And that is the character that everyone's been talking about, that we're like, okay, so really, maybe she would be the character to show up, because her story was like cut a little bit short. Like, you definitely could have got like a couple more years, like 5 more years even, out of Nia's story, because her story was only really just beginning, I feel. So having her continue in the Arrowverse would be great. And I think that is probably the most logical option from Supergirl. If we're not going to have Supergirl, I think Superman is a definite possibility, considering that he hasn't actually shown up since Crisis on any of the other shows. And considering how big Superman Lois is, I think they would be trying to go for a Superman Flash crossover, because they're like 2 of the biggest Arrowverse shows right now. White Canary, yeah, I guess there's always the chance. Yeah, like, she's the lead kind of Legends, so I wouldn't see anything against that. Like, yeah, they definitely might go for that if they want to have a Legends crossover. Okay, so Cal sends in a 99-cent super chat. Thank you very much, Cal, for the support. I really appreciate it, and also you being a member. And Andy actually says theoretically he would be having those talks this week, because we talked to him at the time and he said in 2 weeks from now, and that is this week. Yeah, that is in fact right. Yeah, he'll be talking to that person this week. Anyone know how to hack phones? No, I'm joking. We'll see when it actually happens, and fingers crossed it actually happens at some point, that we get this Supergirl alum crossing over onto the Flash. It would be awesome. Okay, Gary is here. Welcome, Gary. Long time no see, and I'm sure you're excited for when Eric shows up, Gary. He's going to be showing up very shortly. Hopefully traffic isn't too bad. And so Gary asks, is the Flash season 9 getting delayed? So right now, Gary, as far as I'm aware, I don't think the Flash season 9 is getting delayed, but we can talk about that briefly. Season 9 is confirmed now. Like, that was obviously inferred recently with Grant trying to sign his contract, getting like that 1-year kind of deal. And we were pretty sure it was going to happen, but now we have official confirmation that the Flash has been renewed. That is just amazing. I love that the Flash is continuing. And one thing to note, I think they would have announced that the Flash, if it was going to be its last season, I think they would have announced that it's season 9, the final season. So I'm fairly confident, and I'm not going to say take this 100%, because I don't think you should take what I'm saying 100%. But I feel like with them not announcing it's the final season, I think there is a high chance that maybe we're going to be getting a season 10. Again, they don't even know this yet, but I'm just saying this is not bad news, because they haven't, in their agreements, talked about it being the final season. So there is definitely potential for more in the future, and that is obviously very exciting to us Flash fans. Okay. Right. Gary says, he sends another super chat. Gary says, are you mad at me? Are you proud of me? A little bit mad, Gary, a little bit mad as usual, but I am always proud of you, and proud of you for showing up to the live stream. I really appreciate it. And thanks for the super chats once again, Gary. Yeah, so let's go ahead. Like, we had quite a few super chats there. Again, if you want to send in any questions that you have, now is the time to send them in. But let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Flash first. And when Eric joins, we will circle back and get his thoughts on it and his theories about what's going on, because I know that you guys are just going to want to talk about the Flash nonstop. But we will talk about Superman and Lois. Don't worry, guys. I've got my notes fully kitted out. But let's begin with the Flash. So, episode 8, let's talk about it. How did we feel overall? You guys tell me in the comments. Did you enjoy it? What were your nitpicks in the episode? If we're talking nitpicks, I'm going to say my main nitpick, and if you see my review, you'll know what it is. It's the kind of usual CW drama that we're going to be getting with Allegra and the employee at CC System Media. I actually forgot her name, but I was kind of fine with it. And then I knew they were teasing this like early in the episode, but then when they got to, you know, the bit where she was actually interviewing the person and Allegra kind of wasn't paying attention, it was just the way that she was asking the questions. Like she was being so kind of, I don't know, weird or kind of snobbish, I guess you could say. And there was just something off about her. Like she thinks she is like hot shit or something, you know, she thinks she is the #1 reporter, and Allegra isn't like, you know, looking at her like she's the best reporter in the world. And like, dude, chill. Like, it's not a big deal. She just found a good story. She went and found a good story. And I get the Iris side of this episode. Like, I totally understand it because she did assign her to do something and she didn't do that. But it's a fact that she got a good story, and Iris acknowledged that at least. But with this other reporter, she goes on at the end of the episode to say, after Allegra has like been nice, apologized, and been like, okay, I'll be more attentive and stuff like that along those lines, she goes, I will destroy you, and walks off. And I'm like, okay. I think that was just like one big step too far, in my opinion. And again, you guys can completely disagree with me if you really don't think it's, you know, over the top. I really think, okay, I think the word is it's over the top. And I get it. It's drama. It's the CW. There is drama. And I'm used to it. But that line, I will destroy you, I was like, can we not? Let's maybe surpass it. But yeah, the character's name is Taylor. Thanks for reminding me, Andy. So yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts on that. Like, I really didn't enjoy that. And that's just because I don't really personally like those types of people, especially because Allegra was trying to be nice at the end of the episode. So this is definitely turning out to be a character that they want us to hate. They definitely want us to hate her, and they did a good job setting that up, because that is going to be a story at CC System Media with Taylor and with also Allegra. Okay, we have a couple of super chats and we'll get back to the main topics. Canada Graphs sends in a 2 Canadian. Thank you very much, Canada Graphs. He says, will Taylor's story get delayed later than March? I mean, hopefully it's going to get delayed later than March, because maybe we won't be able to see it. That would be great. Gary, can you manifest that for us? Can you do something to help us? I mean, you've done this many times in the past, Gary, so come on. Give us a hand. And anyway, thank you once again, Canada Graphs. Gary sends in another super chat. He says, what did you think about the Flash episode this week? Well, yeah, Gary, I'm going to say overall, I really enjoyed the episode, and I love what they started to tease with the villain. We're going to talk about that certain villain right now in a minute after your question. So it's kind of a good segue. And obviously, we're going to get Eric's thoughts when Eric hopefully comes. But it's a good episode. And like I said, I have my nitpicks to do with that story with introducing Taylor. I thought that was just, you know, over the top, too much CW. And it was like, you know, really high school drama stuff. Like, she's supposed to be an adult, like, grow out of it, mate. That's what I say to that. However, apart from that, you had, you know, the setup for the villain, which was really intriguing. And then also, what else did we have in the episode? Well, I guess mainly, you know, the Barry stuff was very interesting, especially with the fact that you have Barry being a proper investigator. It reminded me of season 1. It reminded me of him with his board with Reverse Flash. Obviously, there was a callback to that in the episode with Joe. But I just like that we're going back to that kind of side of the show. We have this mystery. We've not been shown who this villain is, and now we are left to speculate about it. And I really like that, because at first when the villain showed up, I was like, what is going on here? because, you know, they show up at the start of the episode, it's kind of distorted, and it's from their perspective, from the serial killer's perspective. I thought that was like an interesting way to start the episode, and I really did think we would get the reveal and it would be like a one-time thing, but no, that's actually the villain of this graphic novel, supposedly. So I'm very intrigued to see where this specifically goes. I'm not gonna. Well, I will make some guesses soon, but I'm not gonna guess exactly right now who it is. I'm gonna save that just for a little bit because we're gonna talk a bit more about the episode. And Metron, I'm gonna answer the super chat in a bit when I get to that, but I'm just gonna talk about a couple more things, and I'll get back to your super chat. But I really appreciate it. Also, we have Gary who sends in a poo sticker. Thank you very much. You can't see it on the screen right here, but you can see it in the chat. So thanks for the poo sticker. I appreciate it, Gary. Metron also says in another super chat, what are the chances John gets powers without X Kryptonite? So you're talking about Jonathan and Superman Lois. I think it's only a matter of time. That's just my opinion. Again, maybe he never manifests powers. Maybe it never happens. But I think it's definitely possible. That's what I would say as of right now, Metron. But thank you for the super chat. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about this villain. So at the start and throughout this whole episode, the hotness is back and he is framed for this murder. I mean, it's pretty clear at one point that the hotness isn't the one committing the crimes. However, it's all pretty much pinned on him. And we do have doubts, I would say. Like, I had doubts. Is it actually him? Like, especially after he goes after the other bartender who exposed them and they show up dead. I have a big question. Did the hotness see the serial killer after he confronted the bartender? Because the bartender died in that alley where the hotness was. So did the hotness like walk away after confronting and then, you know, the serial killer came? It's very curious to see. I'm curious if to try and understand, I guess, is the way of wording it, how that actually went down. I think that's maybe a little bit of a plot hole, because realistically, did the hotness confront her and just like instantly split? I'm not sure. And how long was she in the alley? Did did he knock her down and then the other person finished him off? I'm not sure. But anyway, so with this villain who is teased in this episode, we see from their perspective, it turns out, and what exonerates the hotness, what proves that he's innocent, is the fact that the way the victims are dying is because of cold fusion. It's some sort of like different type of chemical reaction that is from coldness rather than from like hotness, like the hotness, like from Jacko or Jaco. And so this leads us to believe, like, who is behind the serial killings? Well, at first, you're like, okay, you see the kind of iciness around the bar at the start of the episode. You're like, is this Frost? Is this, Chillblaine? Is this Captain Cold? But it turns out they're keeping that a secret, and that is going to be our main villain for the season. And so they are targeting these specific people, and Barry tries to figure out what is going on and what is the link, and that's going to continue on from here. And so this is where we're going to go over to Metron's Super Chat, because this is where the theory comes in. And so lots of people are theorizing, and I actually thought about this, and Nathan actually brought up this last night, and I started thinking about it more and more, and it makes a lot of sense, I think. And so Metron asks, you think Black Flame to be Deathstorm or Neutron? So I think the villain is being regarded as Black Flame. I can't be 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure he's been referred to, or whoever it turns out to be, as Black Flame. But if you guys don't know who Deathstorm is, Deathstorm was created in the comics, and I think there is like multiple iterations of it, but in one iteration, it was created by Necron in The Blackest Night, event, crossover event in the comics, and as an evil incarnation of an undead Firestorm. And so we know that Ronnie Raymond is returning, and so that's got people speculating that maybe he is in fact the villain of this half, and that's why Ronnie Raymond is back. And so in terms of Deathstorm, this is an undead Ronnie Raymond. And so it would make sense that if we have Ronnie coming back and we're not time traveling in the past, maybe that's the reason he's showing up. Now, I don't know if any of you guys can clarify in the chat, because I'm not all too familiar with Deathstorm. What are his powers? Do they in any way line up with the cold fusion that we saw in this episode? I don't know if it specifically does, but you know, his flames aren't red, they are blue. So you can kind of interpret maybe with him being undead, his powers are maybe inversed, and he, you know, can shoot kind of like more icy, kind of cold fusion, and that causes the effect of, you know, someone being burnt alive. And that is something that Firestorm with his normal powers could do. So I think the idea behind everyone's theories is, yeah, you know, like Nathan says in the chat, Deathstorm has the same powers as Firestorm, but as a way to differentiate this version of Firestorm from the version we knew in the past, they're saying that maybe the undead version of Firestorm, who has come back to life and has been resurrected, that definitely could be, you know, the result of him coming back is his powers work differently, and that's where the cold fusion comes into it. So that's my theory as of right now. I'm sure you guys have lots of theories. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about that, and what do you think is actually going to be happening? Okay, we have Gary, who sends in another super chat. He says, "What is your Batwoman ranking?" I don't actually have a Batwoman ranking right now because I'm behind on this season, so I can't give you a good ranking. But I'm not going to say I'm the biggest Batwoman fan. I've never been completely hooked to the show like I have with the other shows. But if we're going to spotlight anyone's rankings, let's spotlight Danny's rankings, because Danny says my favorite is 3, 2, and then 1. So there you go. That's Danny's answer, and Danny's answering for me. I need to catch up with Batwoman is my answer. But also, yeah, it's true that Deathstorm, if it comes to be actually Deathstorm, you know, in the comics, he is, you know, he has a Black Lantern ring. And we know that look, this is what Nathan's saying, and Nathan is right. We know that Lantern's rings exist in the Arrowverse, and so therefore Black Lanterns could be coming since worlds are dying, which is why Diggle could have been recruited. Yeah, that's entirely true, and that could be a good theory actually for a potential future crossover if they want to link, you know, potentially if Deathstorm shows up, they want to link to what's going to happen later, maybe at the start of next season. That would be a very cool crossover, having, you know, Black Lantern show up. So really good thinking, guys. Honestly, like, I feel like you guys are doing all the work and I'm kind of just like riding along for the ride. Eric just sent me an update. He says he's still out, and this was 15 minutes ago, but he's hopefully home soon. So that's good. And we're going to stick around until Eric shows up. And, you know, you guys can send your questions in for Eric as well. But for now, remember, keep on sending questions. We're going to move on to the next topic. Okay. So let's continue with The Flash. So in this episode, we have Barry who's investigating, and, you know, this is all kind of sparked by the fact that when the Hotness is arrested, he looks at his son in desperation, and Barry sees the look in his eyes, and he later, you know, draws a parallel between, you know, what happened to the Hotness and what happened to Jaco and what actually happened to his dad when he was arrested, because it was the same look in his eyes. And so we're fairly certain he's innocent. And Barry is the only one who believes in the impossible. And obviously, believing in the impossible and like Joe saying that is a little bit on the nose, but like that is the main theme of the show, or at least it was in the past. So it's good to see Barry once again believing in the impossible. You know, I don't think we've seen that in a while. So it's really nice to see that he's back to his kind of detective roots. I know he's not a detective, but you know, with him in season 1 and what he was doing with Reverse Flash and all of his theories about what actually happened to his mum that night, it's really exciting to go back to those kind of events. Okay, so basically what happens is it all kind of starts off with it being his dad's birthday, Henry Allen's birthday, and it's really nice. There's a nice touch in the episode later in the episode that Joe is the only one that believes in Barry, because I feel like Joe is the one who should always believe in Barry. Iris isn't really connected to this week's episode in terms of Barry's story. It's more just Cecile, Allegra, Cecile, who is it? Cecile, Chester, and Frost. That's it. It's not Allegra. Allegra's with Iris this episode. That is the different storyline that's going on with them. But those three in Team Flash don't believe what's happening. They don't believe that Barry is thinking right. They believe that the Hotness is in fact guilty of the crimes that he's accused of. But, you know, Barry believes in the impossible, and that's what, you know, he follows through with this episode. And I really like that touch, like just throughout the whole thing. I thought it was really, really good and very well done. Let's talk about the Hotness. What did you guys think about the Hotness? I think it was a big improvement from what we saw in the past. Oh, Mayata just said something very, very true. They need to bring back the old intro again. Yeah, like it's so good to look back at those old episodes. It's so nostalgic when that intro plays, because now all we get every week is, you know, we get one scene like the attack at the start of this episode, and then we suddenly cut to you know, you have the theme song. I'm not gonna hum it for you guys, but and then you have like the characters going past, and it's like the Flash. But in the past, we had the "My name is Barry Allen, and I am the fastest man alive." You know, I really miss that intro. That intro was, you know, always one of the best things about the show, because you always got excited every time that came on. And it's not a thing that they really do anymore on the CW shows, as far as I'm aware. I think, did they stop doing it on Supergirl? But they used to do it on Supergirl as well. They, you know, it's "My name is Kara Zor-El. My pod got knocked off course, and by the time I got here, my cousin had already grown up and become Superman." So I love those old intros. I really want them to bring back the Flash, maybe for the last season. That would be fantastic. I really hope they do that at some point. But I'm not gonna hold out hope. Like, I feel like it kind of cuts down on the time, and you know, they want to use their time up, I guess. Maybe we should start a petition to bring back the old intro. Wouldn't that be? That would be great if we could get the old intro back. I really hope we can. But I'm not gonna hold out hope. Okay, I'm gonna send something in the chat for you guys. So this is what Andy actually talked about earlier. So the link in the chat is to a new film that I am working on. I am going to be directing this film. So if you can support in any way, please be sure to click the link in the chat. The one that begins with IGG. It's an Indiegogo fundraiser page, and I'm going to be making a film, and I need some support from you guys. And so if you can support in any way, you guys don't have to do it right now, but if you want to do it right now, that's awesome. You can be thanked in the credits. If you live in the UK or you can get to London, you can donate and become an extra and come meet me and, you know, be part of the film. So yeah, that's the thing that I'm doing. That will probably be filming sometime in like June, I think. So still a ways off. However, the fundraiser is going on right now, and we got a good start. We've got nearly like 1,500 overall. I had like a fund given to me, which was really nice. I won that fund for the film, so I've got a good start. But I would really appreciate you guys if you want to support me, support what I'm doing, because what I actually am is a filmmaker. I'm a fan of DC. I love making YouTube videos, and I'm not going to stop making YouTube videos. But at the same time, I love making films, and that's what I do. So yeah, support by going to the link, which is in the chat, and you guys can do that. That is just your kind of little break for 1 second. Now let's go back to what we were talking about. So once again, if you have any super chat questions, please be sure to send them in right now, and we'll be sure to answer them. And hopefully Eric is going to be joining into the stream soon. I know I keep on saying that, but he will be coming, guys. Don't worry about it. And we'll be reiterating stuff and going over more theories. So please be sure to stick around for the whole rest of the stream. Krista and the Boo Boo, who is a member of the channel. Thank you for being a member. You guys can become a member by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button. And we're going to be doing a monthly members Zoom call sometime, either probably in the next week. So next week, actually definitely next week. So if you want to become a member, now is the time. And if you are a member, I will send out a message on the YouTube community tab about the timings. And if you have an Instagram, if you're a member, please be sure to tell us your Instagram so that I can follow you, and you can be added to our members Instagram chat, where we normally talk about when we're going to set up the Zoom call. But anyway, so Krista is here, and Krista asks, I would not be surprised if it is Deathstorm. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either, but it would be a neat twist. Like, it's something that maybe some of us, are predicting, but it's still unique because I don't think any of us kind of predicted with Ronnie coming back that maybe he would be a villain, but I think it would be cool if he came back, and he is coming back, that he turns out to be a villain. But yeah, so I'm curious, what do you guys think of this episode as a whole? And did you think the hotness got better? I think the hotness got better, and I liked his kind of relationship he had with his son. It's obviously very passionate. At times he's over the top, and like in the magma scene or a couple of scenes where he's confronting people, he's screaming, and I think the screaming's a bit over the top. But apart from that, with him actually showing this proper true emotion, I really kind of bought into it. So yeah, it was really, really great to see actually him being like a little bit redeemed. I don't think it was the worst before, but at the same time, I think he's much better now with this episode. So good job on him. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to talk about the next thing we're going to be talking about, Superman Lois now, because we pretty much hit most of my Flash topics. But we will go back to the Flash. So if you're only interested in the Flash, please stick around, because we will get back to it, especially when Eric joins in. I'm just going to pop him a message. Sorry, guys. Telling him to just hop in when he gets home. I mean, you guys know American traffic. Like, you can't rely on it. Like, if he was anywhere else, if we were anywhere else, you'd be like, okay, yeah, gonna pop somewhere and I'll be back at this time. And you're gonna get back at that time. But in America, it's a whole different game, guys. You know it. I mean, a lot of you are Americans, so you definitely experience that. Okay, so let's move on to talk about Superman and Lois a little bit here. So this week's episode was pretty damn good again. I mean, let's talk about like the main points and we can talk about overall thoughts. So my overall thoughts in the episode was it was interesting, you know, the whole Natalie thing with us going back and see what actually went down. Sorry for the yawning. I started this stream later. I watched the new Michael Bay film earlier this evening. My brain is like going in a million places because man, that guy makes crazy films. So yeah, that's why we started later. So I apologize if I'm at all looking a bit tired. But yeah, Natalie, with everything that goes down, we get, you know, a little bit more about what actually was going on. Yeah, true kind of graphs. And we get to see like the red crisis antimatter wave. Although it's not like outright reference. Sorry guys. It's not outright referenced. However, it's pretty much inferred that that's, you know, the crisis wave, and she's basically stuck between worlds, and maybe her world was destroyed and maybe that version of Superman is no longer existing because of crisis. I think that is, you know, a possibility. So somehow she's stuck in between these two worlds and she's forced to go into hibernation for 6 months, I think was the exact time that the AI said. Hey Sarah, welcome to the live stream. But yeah, so she goes into hibernation. She wakes up when they kind of make signal, I guess, with her dad's pod, which ends up obviously on Earth Prime, where we saw him in season 1. And so this episode doesn't like fully resolve her story, but it teases what happened in the meantime. And I think it's interesting to get answers about that because I think a lot of people have been thinking about it. So yeah, the tie-in with Crisis on the Earth was nice to see. But I definitely think they can go more into detail around it. And I think Krista agrees with me. But yeah, let's go ahead and answer Gary's super chat. Gary sent in super chat. He said, "What is your Flash ranking?" So let's hop back to the Flash for a minute. Yeah, in terms of the Flash, if I'm gonna rank, and you guys can rank the Flash in the chat, I would say season 2 is definitely my favorite because of Zoom, but it's very close with season 1 because season 1 is so good with Reverse Flash. So I go 2, 1, 3. I really like 3. So 2, 1, 3, 5. I like 5 with Reverse Flash and Nora. I really, really do like that season. Sorry. Season 6 was Cicada and Bloodwork, I feel like. I always forget what season 6 was. I don't know why I keep on forgetting. Season 6 was the season where we got cut short because of the virus, right? Am I going crazy or what? Like, I'm really doubting myself here. So, if you guys can send any clarifications, I'm pretty sure it was the Eva season with Bloodwork as well. So, if it is, oh yeah, Krista confirmed it. Season 5 was Cicada. Yeah, season 5. Oh my god, my brain can't function right now. So Cicada was season 5, and then also we had Nora and Reverse Flash. That's what put season 5 higher than say season 6. So season 6 Mirrorverse and Bloodwork, and then season 7 we finished the Mirrorverse at the start of the season, and then we had, why am I blanking? We had Godspeed and also the Forces. Oh god, the forces. Oh my god, I completely blanked out of my memory. Okay, so now I fully remember what's happening, what's happened on the Flash. Oh my god, that was a trip down memory lane. Like, my brain is just so bad. Like, I can't remember half the stuff. It's very selective about what I remember. So if I'm gonna say my ranking, I'm gonna say season 2, 1, 3, 5. 6, 7, 4. That's mine. 2, 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 4. And 7 because of the Forces storyline and the fact that Godspeed was so short. Like, it should have been much longer. 4 because the Thinker is just, I really didn't like that season at all. Like, I really don't like it. You guys know that. But yeah, that's pretty much a ranking. So thanks to Super Chat, Gary. I really appreciate it. And if any of you guys have any other questions, send them in now. We have about 20 minutes or so left of the live stream. I am barely keeping it going. And fingers crossed Eric can show up. Hopefully his traffic isn't so bad in a minute. But let's continue with Superman and Lois. So yeah, episode 8, we have at one point Jordan steps up and saves Jonathan and his girlfriend Candace after, that kind of bully, that thug. They don't specifically name him, or maybe I forgot his name. Basically that guy goes after them and he's like, get in the car. And then Jordan shows up because he hears it and he flies over and he basically has a Superboy moment, and it was great. Like, I love that moment. I was like, oh shit. Like, I literally said that to myself, I swear. As soon as he showed up and he was like kind of like masked in shadow, he had his hood up, and it was really cool. And it's definitely a teaser for more to come. And even if you check the trailer for next week's episode, he's going to be stepping up. Especially with the absence of Superman and what he's been trained to do recently, it all makes sense. It makes sense that he's starting to become more like Superboy. And I'm sure we'll do a video on this pretty soon. But yeah, for now, yeah, very exciting. Hopefully we get him in some sort of suit pretty soon. Some sort of Superboy suit would be awesome by the end of the season. But yeah, it's really cool. I'm starting to really, really root for this storyline to actually happen. But in regards to Jonathan, what happens in this episode, more of the same. He still doesn't reveal everything about, who was the supplier. However, obviously Jordan finds out about it and he's a bit mad, but then they kind of make up later in the episode. And then, yeah, everything is like cool between them because Jordan was able to save Jonathan. And, that guy isn't going to be coming back because Jonathan has Jordan to back him up. And he's not on Kryptonite, like he is Superboy. He is a Kryptonian. Welcome, Jamie, by the way, to the live stream. And also welcome, Jordan Kent. Yeah, I do need to sleep, I think. But we're going to chug through the live stream for you guys. I'm not going to stop it just because I'm tired. I'm willing to embarrass myself and be sleepy on stream, then not do the stream. There you go, guys. Commitment. Okay, so let's talk about another big thing that happens in this episode, probably the biggest thing. So they go down to the mines, that being Ali, Chrissy, Mitch, Lieutenant General Mitch Anderson, obviously ex-Lieutenant General Mitch Anderson, because he's disgraced, and basically they all go down to the mines and Chrissy is there, and I'm surprised that Chrissy was like, okay, I'm ready to go. Like, I don't know if this is safe, but people are ascending, so let me ascend. Oh shit, Jamie, I'm sorry, kind of spoiling. Yeah. a little bit of a spoiler. Sorry, Jamie. But basically that happens, and they start to ascend, and they start kind of phasing in and out of existence, and we don't know what exactly happened to them, but Mitch seemingly gets through, and we're going to see what happens to Mitch. Is Mitch going to become some sort of a god? Is he the main villain of the season, along with Ali as well? It seems like it is. He's definitely going to become more powerful, and I'm interested like where they take this. And so for the whole episode, Lois and her dad are extremely worried that Lucy went into there as well, and she ascended and died basically, because they presume everyone else died. So with Lucy actually returning at one point, we're like, okay, did she actually come to her senses? And it seems, she plays along with the idea that she's come to her senses, that she listened to Lois, but it's pretty clear that, that's not the case. And by the end of the episode, it's definitely not the case, because it turns out she was the backup plan in case Ali didn't get to the other side. So she stayed behind as a kind of contingent or a contingency, and now she has, the card. And the big question is, how the hell is she going to get Ali out there? I think they're going to kind of gloss past that, because that is just like a whole thing in itself. Trying to explain, oh, how can Lucy go in and get Ali out and not, be stopped by anyone at the DOD? But that's a matter for another day. But yeah, so I thought that was like visually very interesting as well. The portal, I thought it looked pretty cool. And let's see what Jamie just said in the chat. I had a dream that Superman, Jonathan, Jordan, Steel, and we got a cyborg Superman versus a big bad. Oh, that would be pretty cool if we got all of that. We know that we're seeing like an alternate version of Jonathan, maybe from Bizarro World. Supposedly in some sort of flashback, because obviously Bizarro doesn't exist anymore. Bizarro is dead. In the next couple of episodes, I don't know when it's specifically happening, but we're definitely going to see more of that world and more of these different characters or our normal characters in different ways. So yeah, like I'm really looking forward to what is going to be happening next. But yeah, that pretty much does it in regards to Superman Lois. Like, I don't think I have anything apart from those specific points I wanted to hit on, because I don't feel like the Sarah stuff was too big of an issue in this episode. Like, they had the double date that they were supposed to go on, but Jordan couldn't go because he had scars on his face and he'd been beaten up. Which is totally understandable, but I wonder at what point he's going to tell her that, he is the son of Superman and he has powers and everything like that. But that stops him, obviously. And then Lana and Kyle have a bit of a story in this episode as well. That's mainly contained between them in the house. And although Kyle is in fact helping Lana, she ends up kind of venting to him. Do you think Sarah and that girl are going to get back together again? Well, I think they are teasing that, because there is definitely a connection between them, and obviously it would be ideal, like Sarah said, for them to be friends and then Jonathan to be cool with it. But it's the CW. What can we say? Like, at one point, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. Like, I really don't doubt that. What if the Jonathan version from Bizarro World is the Krypton side of Jonathan, that is lost. Oh, that would be interesting. So that's like the Kryptonian part of himself. If he merges with that person, our Jonathan, could become more powerful and could actually get powers. Yeah, that's actually a really good theory. I really like that. Okay, Canada Graph sends in another super chat, a $2 super chat, and he says 5 favorite things from Peacemaker. So Peacemaker is out in the UK, and I was lucky enough to talk to James Gunn actually about it. I did an interview with him. I might upload it if there is any interest. If you guys like Peacemaker, if not, I'll just upload it on Twitter or something. But basically, before that, I spent a whole day and I binge watched all 6 episodes of Peacemaker, and I loved it. I really loved it. I got super into it. It was really funny. But my top 5 things about Peacemaker, what would they be? Do a shot. Yeah. My top 5 things. Well, obviously I have to say the intro. Like, I love the intro to every episode. It's so stupid. It's so funny. The dancing and the music. I love the music. Like, it's so cool. So that's one of the things for sure. Like, it's so kooky, and I love just the fact of all the different types of people doing the dance. Like the old people coming in, like, you know, his dad and the neighbor. I freaking love the neighbor. The neighbor's so funny, and it's just so funny. And then Harcourt, like the way she's doing her moves, like she's freaking dense. Like, I was kind of scared. Like, I was like, and just, you know, the fact that all of them are doing it, and they're doing it without any emotion. And this dance, when they go like up and they're like, it's like super funny. It's super weird. Yeah, I really can't get over it. I keep on watching that intro again and again and again. Okay, another thing. Well, John Cena, I think he's really good. I think it's you know, Peacemaker. I really like the character, and I love how quirky he is, especially in the show. Number 3, I'm not ranking these, by the way. They're just coming off the top of my head. Definitely, I'm going to say Vigilante. He is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Freddie Strummer from Harry Potter, who you guys remember, I'm sure, from Harry Potter. He is freaking funny. Like, that character is unlike any Vigilante I've seen, and I love the way that they went with it. It's so freaking hilarious. Like, that scene when he's getting tortured, he's like, "Ah, my pinky toe, my pinky toe, my pinky toe," and then you know, the fact that he, like, when they take the mask off, he's like, "They won't be able to identify me if I keep on moving my face." It was just such a great scene, and yeah, like that was so funny. Like, I was just dying when he was doing all those stupid faces, like, you know. Oh my god. Yeah, he's one of my favorite, if not the favorite. My most favorite thing about the show is probably Vigilante. What else? Well, I like. I kind of like the style of the show. I like how it's shot. I think it's a good spin-off off of the Suicide Squad. It's like high budget TV. And then I think the writing, I think it's very, very funny. Like, it's actually really funny. So, yeah, overall, I would say those are like the 5 things that come to my mind when I think about Peacemaker. But yeah, I highly recommend you guys go watch it. I really enjoy Peacemaker. Look forward to another season. Cal says, "Are you going to watch Naomi, Ben?" Yeah, I'm gonna watch Naomi. Maybe I can do it next week. I don't know. It's just I've been super busy, and I'm actually filming my graduation film in like just over a week. So I've been like busy preparing for that. Because if you guys don't know, I'm still at university. I'm in my final year. And yeah, I'm the cinematographer on the film, so busy planning. And I've got a feature film I'm filming in May, So yeah, lots of preparations, and I mean, I'm trying to do my own film as well, through crowdfunding, and that's the link that you guys will see in the chat, and you can donate towards my film that I'm going to be directing. That is going to be in the summer. But yeah, Jordan says Ben got that Barry Allen hair going on. Yeah, that's true. Well, that's my normal hair. It's the Barry Allen hair. I mean, I used to. Okay, full disclosure. That's what I'm trying to say. I used to show photos to the hairdresser of the Flash of Grant because that's like the hairstyle that I've always had, and I was like, okay, if I want to show any photo, I'm going to show a photo of the Flash because I love Grant's hair. It's awesome, and that's pretty much my hair as well. So yeah, there you go, Barry Allen hair right here. It's a bit long at the moment. Grant's is much shorter right now. But yeah, like maybe season 3 Barry hair, I guess. Path says, what university? University of dun dun dun. I will reveal this because I don't think you guys are gonna track me down and like hunt me. Westminster. It's called Westminster. Yeah, that's where I'm at, finishing this year. But yeah, that pretty much does it. Like, if you guys have any final questions, now is the time to send them in, and I'll answer them. We're hitting the hour mark. Seems that Eric hasn't been able to make it home in time, and I will continue doing the stream longer, but I know that I'm going to fall asleep on stream. And yeah, so sorry for promising, Eric coming on, but again, it can't be helped. American traffic, like I said. But hopefully, maybe I'll be on the after party tomorrow. Actually, wait, the after party I'm pretty sure is changing days, so it might not be tomorrow. It might be, I believe, Saturday. So I'll be on there with Eric, and hopefully Eric can join next week. So yeah, I apologize for promising and not delivering, but again, blame it on the traffic. Yes, Grant is better. Sad times, sad times. I wish mine was that good. But he has a hairstylist, guys. Like, give me a break. Give me a break. He's got a hairstylist. I'm doing this. I don't use any kind of gel or anything. This is El Natural, guys. Yeah. But that's, oh god, that's funny. I can't believe I just said that. Carol Roswell sends in a super sticker. Let's see what the sticker is. Oh, is a sleep emoji. Yep, you just called it. Thanks, Carol, once again. Yeah, welcome back, Andy. And yeah, we just solved all of the writing problems on the CW. It's amazing. And yeah, after party is Saturday. Should be on the after party on Saturday. So yeah, look out for that. Big flex, Ben. Yeah, we're gonna be sorting out all of the CW's problems. No worries. No more Ashley. I think that's what her name was. Now I've got hiccups. I'm dying, you guys. I'm dying. Like, the tiredness is taking over my body's like, nope. Hiccup, yawn, like, die. Anyway, I swear this happens every time I start the stream later. I'm always yawning, and you guys are like used to it now. But it happens. It happens, guys. Like, I was watching a Michael Bay film. Give me a break. Like, that's why I started the stream late. His new film with Jake Gyllenhaal, actually, Ambulance. It's freaking crazy. Good comment, Andy. CW is actually good, even if the shows are bad. No, I like the shows. I'm not gonna criticize the shows. I would never call them bad because I really do enjoy them. Did you like the new Flash episode this week, Ben? Yeah, I did like it, Jordan. I thought it was really cool. I've seen the Adam Project, Jamie. I saw it like 3 weeks ago. Saw it before it came out on Netflix. Yeah, I enjoyed that with Ryan Reynolds. Nathan's last comment. I mean, it's all up to you, Nathan. Like, I mean, I would not ask you. Only if you actually feel like you really want to and you can spare, then absolutely go ahead and support the film. However, I would never force you to do that. And so it's all down to you. And I'm going to leave it with you. If you want to, support more, that is like, just, come to me and tell me if you want to. But again, anything, if you donate anything towards the film, it's more than enough to me, and you will be thanked in the credits, no matter how much you send into the Indiegogo fundraiser. You guys will all be thanked, even as little as £1 or £2 or anything like that. So yeah, thank you for supporting, and thanks for supporting the stream and supporting the channel. I really appreciate you guys. I'm going to leave you guys here because we've hit the hour mark. And so once again, thank you all for watching. And remember, you can check out Andy's interview. I'm going to link it right after the stream ends because we talked about it earlier. And also get ready. After party is on Saturday. I apologize once again that it was only me, but that's what you get. So yeah, for now, I'm going to go to sleep, as Ken McGrath says, but he's singing the song right now, probably in his room. I hope he's recording it. But yeah, for now, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next week for another stream. It will be a bit earlier, so I won't be as tired. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. And yeah, Andy, we got to do something. I'll message you. Maybe you can stream one day. That would be very cool. So for now, I'll see you guys later, and goodbye.